We love to read in our homeschool. We love read alouds. My daughter is almost always having an independent read. And today I want to talk about our favorites and least favorites for 6th grade. Now we were studying world history, so that is something that you will notice throughout. Mary Pope Osborne, who you will know from the Magic Tree House series, has written from the Odyssey a part 1 and a part 2. So these are all 6 books that are combined basically into these 2 parts to tell the story of the Odyssey. We read both of them this year as read alouds, and we had so much fun reading them. My daughter really enjoyed these Greek mythology books, and so we also read Medusa, and that was another one that she really liked. This one is also from Mary Pope Osborne, and it is also a very good one. It was an easy, fast read that we enjoyed. She read a multitude of the horrible history books. So she read The Awful Egyptian, she read the Groovy Greeks. I can't remember the one for Rome, but she loved these horrible history books. These were some of her favorites that she had as independent reads throughout the year. She just thought they were hysterical, and they were always ones that she would come to me and tell me something that she learned through these books. So for middle school, I highly recommend the Horrible Histories series. We also started reading the Christian Heroes Then and Now series. Nate Saint was her favorite one that we read. It is just one of those books that grabbed us, and we continued to read it more than I had planned each day. It was a wonderful story. We are so thankful for the Christian heroes and for this book series, but Nate Saint was her favorite one that we read. We also discovered the Kingdom's Dawn series from Chuck Black. This is a series that is truly based on the Bible. It was a story that brought my daughter in almost immediately, and she was so intrigued to be able to see those connections, to make those connections between Bible stories that she already knows and what was happening in Kingdom's Dawn. Again, this is a series. We read Kingdom's Dawn and we read Kingdom's Hope. We are currently reading the 3rd one in the series. There are a total of 6 books in this series by Chuck Black, and we're planning on reading all of them. This was a great series for us to incorporate this year. Now, on her list of her favorite books, she included Esperanza Rising. And this is one that I think one of the reasons that she enjoyed it so much is because we did the Moving Beyond the Page study with it. And so she was able to really get into the book and discover the meaning behind it and do so many activities with it. But she did include Esperanza Rising on her list of favorite books that she read this year. Lila and Hadley is also on her favorite book list for this year. This is a book about a girl who has a lot of things going wrong in her life. So many things going wrong. And she meets a dog that she loves who is in a pound. And it's just this beautiful book about friendship, about them helping each other. But this is one of her favorites that she read this year. I introduced her to Pride and Prejudice this year. This is one that she didn't want to like because I like it so much. It's one of my favorites. She always tries to figure out the endings, and this is one where she was close, but she wasn't quite right on how the story would end. And so that did keep her attention, some of those twists and turns. But the Pride and Prejudice is one that she enjoyed this year. If you do like videos about books, please make sure you are subscribed because I will be coming out with our 7th grade book plans shortly. Now, we discovered Kwame Alexander this year with The Crossover. This is a book that is written in verse, and it was something that took us a little while to get used to reading, but we loved this story. We loved The Crossover, so we read his 2nd book in the series, which is Booked. We read it as well, and then we finished his series with this one, which is Rebound. Now, Rebound had a very interesting twist to it, so I would definitely recommend reading Crossover first and then ending with Rebound. But these were wonderful books, and I was really excited to be able to show her that books don't always have to follow some of the traditional concepts of the words on the page and different things. And so this is great. Now, she is a sports loving kid. If you have someone who doesn't love sports, they might get into these books, but she loves sports and she got into them really easily. This is about basketball and soccer. Neither one of those are her sports, but she knows enough about them that these books really were able to grab her and bring her in. Outside of Gordon Korman, who's always her favorite, these were among her top picks of the year for just fun reads. Now, Gordon Korman, of course, was her favorite author of the year, and she absolutely loved so many of his books. She also discovered Judy Blume this year, and she loved her books. And finally, she did start reading Nancy Drew mysteries, which were also some of her favorites. Now, one other book that she wanted me to make sure that I mentioned was The Simple Art of Flying. This is one of her favorite independent reads that she had. She loved the personification that was included. She loved really being taken into this bird's life. And this is really one that she told me about continuously as she was reading it, which always is a good thing with her independent reads. So this one was one of her favorites that she read in 6th grade. Now for the ones that she didn't really like. First up is Wish. This is a story about a little girl who has big wishes, and she's working hard for them. It was just not a book that really captured my daughter's attention. She thought it drug on a little bit long in places, but it just wasn't her favorite. Another one that wasn't her favorite was Unfriended. This is all about middle school drama, and she just didn't get involved in the characters. She was not pleased with all of the drama that was taking place, and it was just something that she wanted to stay away from. She just didn't like this one. She is very much a non-drama girl, so that book was just too much drama for her. Another one that she didn't really like, and we did this as a read aloud, is The Golden Goblet, and I really kind of agree with her. This one was rough for us to get into. It drug in some places for us, but we did both agree that if the entire book was as interesting to us as the last 4 chapters were, then it would have been one of our favorites. The end of this book is definitely exciting, but it just took us a long time to get there. And her least favorite book of the year was You Belong Here Now. This is the only book of the entire year that she did ask to stop reading. When she does this, I normally say, okay, because I want reading to be fun. So if she does ask to stop reading a book, then that means it's not fun. And there are so many other books out there that would be fun to read. So she did not finish You Belong Here Now. Please let me know what your favorite and least favorite books were in the comments below.